Now this is a story that I'm sure many of you already know, but I want to share from my point of view. I was about 12 or 13 years old when this happened, so I'm just going to tell it to the best of my ability. And from what I can recall, from what I remember, in 2007, me and my family, we were in Connecticut because my dad's older sister used to live in Connecticut with her family. And so we were on vacation, we were traveling. And so my mom had not been feeling well, so she went to the hospital. But being a young child, I didn't really understand what was going on. I was just trying to enjoy the vacation because we were out of school, so why not enjoy the vacation? But little did I know that that one trip that she took to the hospital in Connecticut would turn into about 2 years of nothing but doctor's appointments and trips to the hospital. I remember one of the doctor's appointments really well because after the doctor's appointment, my mom came home and she started crying. I remember her saying that she was tired of going to the hospital. She was tired of going to appointment after appointment, and none of the doctors can figure out what was wrong with her. Then out of nowhere, my little brother, Wansa, who was about 5 or 6 at the time, he started to cry as well. I'm sorry. This story makes me a little emotional.
Amen. 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 Cry and cry.
And so my dad asked Wansa, "Why are you crying?" And Wansa said these exact words to my dad. He said, "I don't want mommy to be sick anymore." And in that moment, watching my little brother cry for my mom, I felt as though she would never get better. Like God could not hear our prayers. Like He wouldn't answer our prayers. I can't even tell you how many ambulances came to our house in those 2 years. How many times my mom was in the emergency room. Hospital visit after hospital visit, it felt like it would never end.
God, Jesus, oh yes, Jesus, when
she had surgery, and as a little 8th grader, I remember trying to figure out if it was the surgery that made her feel better or if God had finally answered our prayers. But what I do remember is feeling like me and my family had nothing but faith and hope to hold on to. And all I have to say is God can still move mountains.
Amen.
If you ask me today what exactly was wrong with my mom some odd years ago, or what illness exactly it was that she had, I could not tell you. But what I can tell you is God moved that mountain.
Amen.
I believe that that same faith that God gave them way back when is that same faith He gave me and my family when my mom was sick. that same faith that he wants to give us, that same faith that God is still giving us, and he still can work miracles because he is still in the miracle working business today.
Amen.
And I believe that through our faith, God will still move mountains. And if you think that God cannot use you, well, let me tell you. Abraham was old. Elijah was suicidal. Joseph was abused. Job went bankrupt. Moses had a speech problem. Gideon was afraid. Samson was a womanizer. Rahab was a prostitute. The Samaritan woman was divorced. Noah was a drunk. Jacob was a cheater. David was a murderer. Jonah, he ran from God. Naomi was a widow. Peter denied Christ 3 times. Martha worried about everything. Zacchaeus was small and money hungry. The disciples fell asleep while praying. Paul was a Pharisee who persecuted Christians before becoming one. And Jeremiah was young. I believe that God is looking for a group of people that will have the faith of Abraham, that will have the courage of Moses, that will have the spirit of Daniel. God is calling for a group of people that through faith will be unafraid. A group of people that through faith will answer his call. God is calling me and God is calling you. And through faith, God will still move mountains in our lives. Amen. And so when I think of our theme here, I need you, my personal testament of I need you is I need faith. And I'm just asking that God grants me that faith that he gave them way back when, that I might have that faith, that even today in 2015, my faith might move mountains. Amen. And so I just wanted to share that with you because faith is something that I've been trying to grow on. And ever since my mom got sick, I feel like even though I was only, I can't even remember, 13 years old, watching her be sick and watching her be healed now, because in those 2 years, she didn't work. All she did was stay home. She couldn't even go to church. And so to see her now, to be at this retreat with you all, I truly believe that God is still moving mountains. And whatever mountain that you have in your life, God will remove it. It just takes the faith of a little mustard seed, and God will move mountains in your life. Amen. Thank you. And we have one more song.